So, we are here, and today we are talking about how January 16th, 2022 was one of the worst nights ever of our life.
But we've had worse.
Yeah.
When you went to the hospital with kidney failure, so.
Yeah, that was a doozy in itself.
Yeah.
I think this one for me was more harder for me.
Why?
Because to be honest, I wasn't sure if I was gonna come out.
Yeah.
We're family and we love each other.
Dad,
Mom, and us four brothers. Full of fun, love, and adventure. Stick around, we'll keep your attention.
We love to have a good time, are growing together.
we've been through tough times, but we're stronger than ever.
Sit back and enjoy the ride. Give you a peek inside
Your
our life.
show, us Johnsons. Ready on your mark.
Let's go!
January 16th.
Uh-huh.
Where should we begin, actually? Should we start at the beginning of the holidays, or?
Yeah, we can talk about the holidays and
Yeah.
how we got a stomach bug over the holidays.
Yeah.
And stomach bug that turned into diarrhea.
Diarrhea.
That lasted for weeks.
3 weeks.
For Randall.
Diarrhea all day, all night for 3 weeks. And I actually thought that it would clear itself up by drinking water and fluids, Gatorade, Powerade, you name it. We were doing it. And still diarrhea. And I was dehydrated.
Mm-hmm.
That happened actually right before Christmas.
Mm-hmm.
And after, that was the Thursday before Christmas. And then on up to January 16th, where I was having diarrhea for 3 weeks, being dehydrated, and amongst other things in my body happening. So, yeah.
Sunday came of
The 16th of January.
and he was completely out of it, but we pushed our
Yeah.
way to go to church.
Well, not completely out of it. I was a little disoriented.
Yeah.
I was fine Sunday morning.
Disoriented period is enough for
True.
me. And I could tell that something was wrong with him and something was off with him for days because you didn't have much energy. He was sleeping or going to bed early, didn't have a whole lot of energy. So I knew that he was just pushing through and he didn't want to be honest with himself or with me that something was going on with him.
Sunday, I was fine. Sunday morning, going to church, I was fine. It was coming home that I felt disoriented. And, I still drove home, and she was asking me, was I fine to drive? I knew she was tired. So I'm like, baby, I got this. Even though I felt disoriented, I took my time and I made sure I stay focused. Now, we don't encourage
was a
you all
bad
to do
decision.
that. We don't encourage anybody to do that. So it wasn't pride or anything like that. But we were almost home anyway. So I said, let me just go ahead and just get it done. So that's what a man does. It's foolish. Anyway,
Thank you for
so
saying that.
got home and had dinner, all this stuff, and I was having some mucus issues. So wanted to get the mucus out and everything like that. So I ended up taking some Mucinex, and I believe that is what broke the straw on the camel's back for me. And then I go to have a movement because we have kids watching, so we don't want to gross them out or anything like
I
that.
think we already have. You said diarrhea for 3 weeks about 5 times.
I had to go boo-boo. And so,
Too late for that.
So we went and have my movement, and I noticed after I got off the toilet that there were, is that still gross?
Just go ahead, honey.
After I had my movement, my eyes, underneath my eyes, were completely dark black. And immediately I knew what I needed to do. And so
Your face started getting swollen and
yeah, face
tight.
was
You were
swollen.
cramping up. Just a bunch of
muscles tensioning up. Now, with the muscles tightening and cramping, it didn't hurt. It was just very severe dehydration. So your muscles are locking up on you, and it's making it hard to move. When I saw that my eyes were black, I immediately knew what it was, and I told Serena. And it's crazy that my siblings had called to do a FaceTime, and I said, while we were on the phone with them, she asked me, "You think we should tell them?" And I said, "Yeah, let's just go ahead and tell them now," because I had told her we need to go to the hospital like now. We need to leave and go to the hospital. And so I told my siblings. We began to pray. Told our pastor, and they began to pray as well. And we're on our way to the hospital, and we had to move very quickly.
So we had to end up going to 2 different hospitals. The first hospital was just overflowing with people who were sick, really, really sick with COVID. In the first emergency room that we went to, we decided to leave.
Yeah.
Went to another emergency room, and while we were waiting, he still felt very weak. He was drinking water bottle after water bottle, chugging them back. He just could not quench his thirst. And I don't want to miss too many details, but we get into the emergency room. He ended up being admitted, and we had no idea what was wrong with him because we still didn't have any answers. So they're doing blood work, and they realized that he was severely dehydrated. So they're trying to hydrate him, but during this time, he also started to get disoriented even more. He was talking off the wall, not even remembering things, simple things I would say to him, and I just felt, I didn't know what was going to happen to him, because once again, we thought maybe his kidneys were failing again. This is what's happening, but these symptoms were different than the very first time that, the incident that happened 16 years ago. And so just praying over him and declaring over him and just making sure that the enemy wouldn't come in and use this as an opportunity to snatch him away from us. And so it was very, very scary. And the nurses not giving us many details of what was going on because they didn't. And when they finally did know what was going on, they told us that Randall's sodium level and his blood pressure were at dangerous levels. And there's a lot that he doesn't remember about the night.
Well, now I do. But still, it was foggy because I was in and out a whole lot.
Yeah, he was very in and out, and his sodium was at dangerously low levels, high blood pressure at high levels, and so his body could have crashed to the point of a coma, slipping into a coma, having severe seizures, a stroke, all of these things, and obviously to the extremity of death. But we were facing, the reality of this is what his body was going through. So there was no quick fix. They were like, we're going to have to slowly raise your sodium level, slowly bring down your blood pressure, because your body could go into shock, and then all those effects would happen. And so during that time, we just were praying, and he was very restless, didn't want to go to sleep because he felt like he didn't know if he went to sleep if he'd wake back up.
So all this throughout the night, I was still going to the bathroom, and they were, I don't know how many times I had to go to the bathroom.
Still had to go to the bathroom a lot. And we had been up for 24 hours. Because we had went to church that morning on Sunday morning, not feeling well. We went to the hospital that night. We stayed in that triage until they were able to admit him. Literally 24 hours awake.
Pretty much.
And he still, I say that to say that you still couldn't really fall asleep because you were just like,
very restless. To be quite honest, only thing I remember during that night is the nurses and doctors coming in and out of the room that we were in. That's what I remember. And I remember the times where you would wake me up and we would declare, and then doctors and nurses would come in and try to fix the sodium level, and I'm just like, man, it hasn't gone down yet. What in the world is going on here? And so, looking at my blood pressure, it was 199 over 100 and whatever, which is crazy. And I'm just like, okay, I don't know what's going on. Nobody's really saying anything to me. They're just conversing with Serena. And so I'm back out, and then I'll wake back up a little bit, and then we'll pray again. And it got to the point where I remember praying, saying, I'm going to make it, I'm going to live, I shall not die, all this stuff. Now, when I say, the doctors had told her I wasn't going to die. They didn't see that happening. But in my body, that's how I felt.
Yeah, the way he was feeling.
And it was just like, if I go to sleep, I'm not certain I'm going to wake up. It wasn't fear at all. Believe that. It wasn't fear. It was just, I don't know if I'm going to wake up. And I'm not willing to chance not being able to wake up if I close my eyes and rest.
And so I'm because I see that he's so restless, I'm trying to tell him, rest, honey. It's going to be okay. Go ahead, close your eyes. Everything's okay and all right. But that didn't soothe him because...
So in my mind, so you got to remember, she's telling me, honey, it's okay. just relax. Everything's okay. The boys are fine. I'm fine. And I'm just like, what in the world is going on right now? I'm feeling like I'm slipping towards death more and more. And now I hear my wife telling me, it's okay. Go ahead and rest. Everything's going to be okay. And so in my mind, I'm thinking, oh my gosh, there's nothing they can do for me. I'm like, this is the end of my life. I'm really thinking that this is the end of my life. And this sucks. That's how I felt. I said, God, if this is how I'm going out, this sucks. I was literally fighting for my life that night. I was like, hey.
It was a war in his mind because after they had told us that he was not going to die, his sodium levels were at dangerous levels, but not unto death. He still did not, he didn't hear them say those things. So in his mind.
Because I'm unaware of what's going on with the conversation. So I'm thinking, oh my gosh, this is the worst way for somebody's life to end. So I'm like, hey, fellas, get yourself together. We ain't going nowhere. We going to fight tonight.
So we got through that. Yeah. They were able to slowly regulate his numbers, and he ended up being admitted into the hospital. And even upon admission to the hospital, he still had some memory loss due to the low sodium levels. It affected his memory. We had a great friend of ours, Jordan, meet you at the hospital. I say the hotel. Right. Meet you at the hospital so that I can go back home and be with the boys and check on them because they had been by themselves overnight that first night while we were at the hospital. And when I left him, he did not even recall me saying different things to him. When he got admitted, and by the time Jordan got there, his memory started to come back. He didn't fully remember a lot of questions that they were asking you. And so Jordan helped you to, walk through different conversations and called me to get information about his medications. But it was like a night and day difference by the time you got admitted, that they were slowly bringing up your sodium levels. And so that was a Sunday that we went in, and Randall stayed in the hospital till Wednesday. It took that long to regulate your sodium level.
And even after I got out, it still took time. I was ready to hit the floor back running, but they were like, "Oh no, brother, you're gonna be on like pretty much bed rest for a while. And don't try to do too much." And we think we have the strength to do it, but you need to listen to the doctors when they're giving you wisdom and knowledge. So you don't overexert yourself and end up right back in the same position where you was at before. So
we know it was a lot for the boys as well too, to not. We've told them stories about Randall having kidney failure before they were, before Randall was born, but for them to actually see him be in the hospital, we'll show you all them visiting, see him in the hospital, see him, not at 100% due to the sodium situation and his blood pressure. It just, I'm sure that it really rocked them and really scared them. And so we wanted to make sure that they were okay, and they did really good. But a lot happened, and just grateful that it could have been so much worse. We're just grateful that you're fine, you're here now. We let you come home, and you had to just rest for, it took almost 2 weeks for you to regain your strength. About 2 weeks. And so you rested, and now we know no more stomach bugs. We can't play with the fact that if he gets diarrhea again, it will completely drain his body. So
if I don't jump on it ahead of time, but if it does happen, I have to call my nephrologist immediately so they can fix that. So we are screening people before we visit. Company.
My gosh.
But we love you guys. Take care of your bodies. It is real. We love you guys. Thank you for praying for us. We wasn't trying to have this be a long episode, long and drawn out, but we did want to explain to you what had happened, because when we did make a post about it on IG and Facebook, people were saying, "Man, I didn't know." We wasn't trying to tell a whole lot of people because it was under control, and we had our families and our church family praying for us. And so it wasn't that we were trying to keep people out of the loop. We just wasn't trying to cause a panic with different people, so we thank you for your prayers.
Thank y'all for watching. As always, stick around. We still have so much fun, love, and adventure here with us, Johnson.
And if you have not subscribed to the channel, hit that subscribe button, like, comment, share, tell your family and friends about this channel, because we do have some good content, and we also have some great content coming this year. So be on the lookout, and thank you in advance for all of your support. We appreciate it.
See ya.